Welcome back to OG Alert. I'm your host, xinabox. Let's get right into the news. So, you're probably wondering where I've been for the last few months. I haven't uploaded since April 28th, and the last OG Alert was all the way back in March. No, I didn't quit YouTube, at least not on purpose, although it may seem like that. Do you guys want to hear what I wrote at the beginning of June? Listen. After the last video, I took my final exams and then I went on a camping trip around Yosemite National Park with some friends for a few weeks. It was really nice to spend some time away from my computer. Now that I'm back, I'm taking summer classes so I won't be able to do weekly videos, which has always been my goal. Clearly, I am not doing too well with accomplishing that. Yeah. Clearly you haven't been doing too well with that, xinabox. I just want to thank you for sticking with me and being patient with me while I am not making videos. I appreciate it, and I love reading all the nice Discord DMs and comments you guys send me. Also, quick note, the background footage for this video was recorded by my little brother Captain GZMan. Hopefully it's more entertaining than watching me try to do the butterfly defense in Bed Wars doubles. I'll leave a link to my brother's channel in the description if you want to check it out. He mostly uploads clips of himself playing on Hypixel, and I find them entertaining. He also asks me when OG Alert is coming out every time I see him without fail, so thanks G for getting this footage for me, and here's OG Alert for you. Next, I just want to take a minute to shout out one message that stood out to me like a couple months ago. I was walking in my car and I saw a Discord notification from someone I had never talked to named Feather, and it said, "Hi, I just wanted to say that I like your content. If you ever decide to post another video, that will make a bunch of people, including me, happy. Have a good day." Something about this message caused me to remember why I started making videos in the first place. Back in May of 2020, I uploaded a tutorial on how to change your name capitalization because I felt like it was something that was more complicated than it needed to be, and I thought that people might want to know how to do it. I remember it got 500 views and a few people commented that it actually helped them. Those comments really motivated me to keep making tutorials because I was able to help people do things that they wanted to do. I kept making tutorials because there's no better feeling to me than when people enjoy things that I make. When I started OG Alert in July of 2020, I did it as a joke, but it very quickly became clear to me that this was something that people wanted to see. The response was so good that I instantly got to work on my next one, and I kept doing that for a while, but at a certain point it started to feel like a job, and that was the worst possible thing for me. Making YouTube videos was no longer a fun escape from schoolwork and other stressful stuff. It had joined that group of stressful things in my life that I wanted to avoid, so I avoided it. The message that I just read you from Feather snapped me out of that mindset for a day. I went home and I worked on OG Alert for a bit, but that burst of motivation left me, so I stopped. A few days later, I got a call from Duper Trooper and Charles, and they said that they wanted to help me finish OG Alert. Duper told me that all he wants is to see me succeed on YouTube, and not only did that show me a lot about his character, but it also made me realize that I have truly made friends in this community and that I have people who want me to continue doing this, so here I am. Thank you Feather, thank you Duper, thank you Charles, and thank you everyone who watches my videos. You guys have really motivated me to keep making stuff. Okay, that was a long, probably pretty boring rant, but I felt like I needed to say some of those things. Thank you for listening if you didn't skip through all that. Now, let's get to the news. First, I want to give you guys a PSA. NameMC added a feature that allows people to hide their capes and make it look like they don't exist. Billy K _ turned off his cape for a couple weeks, and I wish I had counted the number of Discord DMs I got telling me that Billy K lost his cape, because it was at least 100. Billy K didn't lose his cape, guys, he just turned it off. Again, literally anyone with a cape can do this, so if you're looking at NameMC and you see that somebody who once had a cape no longer does, they most likely just turned it off. People do this to avoid being targeted by members of the OG community. Okay, now I know I made a video about this, but I never mentioned it in OG Alert, so I'll talk about it now. There was a bug discovered back in the beginning of April. If you had a Microsoft Minecraft account instead of a Mojang one, meaning you bought the game after December 1st, 2020, and you changed your name, your old name would instantly be available to everyone else as long as they changed the capitalization of it. As you would expect, this caused some issues. All snipes that had been done on gift cards since December were Microsoft accounts, so people went around buying them and transferring the names onto cape accounts. It was patched after about a week, but some pretty cool accounts were created. One I can think of off the top of my head is Monarch, which got put on a 2011 cape account. So some of you may be aware of this guy Zenection. He switches back and forth between Zenection and Down every month, so he's basically able to have two names claimed. There have been some famous accounts like this. Probably the most well-known was Under Raichu, which I talked about last year when Andre ruined it. Well, recently when he was on one of his Zenection months, meaning that the name Down looked like it was dropping, someone who goes by the name of B got Mojang to put it on his account. It looked like he had successfully stolen the name, but about 8 hours later, Mojang reverted what had happened, and all is well now. Down is back in Zenection's hands. I talked to B, and he provided me with these screenshots, so this is the email that they sent when they gave him Down. Hello there, thank you for providing that information. With it, I was able to verify you for this account. As such, your username has been successfully changed to Down. Then it cuts off because that would reveal B's method. Then later, they sent another email saying, hello, after reviewing your request, unfortunately, we won't be able to accommodate this change, and as such, the username has been reverted. This conversation will now be closed. Best regards, Valentina the Villager. It's too bad B couldn't have Down, but I would like to thank Valentina the Villager for doing the right thing and putting the account back in its rightful owner's hands. I actually want to give a quick update to this. I wrote that section back in like June or something. Since then, Zenection has transferred the name to a different account, or at least it appears it was Zenection who transferred it to a different account. So now he has Zenection and Down on 2 separate accounts. Okay, now back to this story about B. Down wasn't the only name that B did this to. He also did it to Slim and Sale, as well as others that I have been asked not to mention. Recently, B also did a similar thing to the name Meter, and it's now on a 2012 cape. So the moral of the story here is that you shouldn't change your name right now if it's an OG and you don't want to lose it. All these names were dropping when B was able to snag them. Once again, this information is not current. This is stuff that I wrote in June, but I just thought I'd include it because, you know, it was something that was going on back then. I'm not sure if people can still actually steal names while they're dropping. I didn't hear about that getting fixed, but I also haven't really heard about it happening recently, so I'm not really sure. I will have an update for you. Now, some interesting stuff happened to the account Dunce recently, and I have a special guest to tell you about it. Please welcome my good friend, Duper Trooper.
Yeah, so Dunce is a scam account, or was a scam account, as I should say. It started off in the hands of Krishu. Krishu planned to sell it to Narcotics, a known scammer in the community, and obviously Narcotics scammed Krishu out of it. Krishu is around 13 years old, and so that's obviously horrible for Narcotics to do that. But Narcotics did pay Krishu back in full. However, the reason we're talking about this is because today something very interesting happened with the account Dunce. While it was locked, because that recently happened, it appears that it was ticketed back onto the original name and Dunce was dropped to the public. It was sniped by an unknown person onto an MFA account. If anybody knows who this is, please let us know because we'd love to hear more about what happened here. My theory is that the original owner of the account ended up ticketing to get their IRL name back, then said Dunce wasn't affiliated with them, so they'd like it removed, and then somebody out of comm put it onto their own account. Feel free to leave your own theories down in the comments.
Yeah, I honestly, it's kind of an interesting thing that happens. I don't really know exactly how this one happened. You know, of course, none of us really know because no one said anything, and we don't know if it was even anyone from community. Because I mean, it's totally possible like it's something that Mojang just messed up, or I mean, unlikely that happened, but. Either way, it's just kind of interesting. These things happen and we sometimes will just never get explanations and it's always a mystery. So I recorded this clip with Duper back in July on the 6th. And earlier that day, I had actually gotten these messages from someone on Discord named Think. They said, I had the IGN Dunce, but it got locked 2 months ago. I've tried making tickets on it and no luck. Now I go to check in on the account and I realize my name was reverted. So the account was locked for 2 months, and then Mojang decided to just take the name off of it and just drop it. And so I guess somebody just, you know, picked it up. So that's kind of the follow-up to this clip with Duper. Also related to names being removed from history, we have the story of the name Slop, which was claimed by my friend Klopp. Let's get to this episode's special segment, Charles Alert, where Charles will interview Klopp about how this happened.
Welcome to the new segment. This is Charles Alert. I'm your host, Charles. And my special guest today is Klopp. Klopp, say hi.
Yo.
So today we're going to be talking about how Klopp got slop on his main account. Alright, tell us the story, Klopp.
Okay, yeah, so basically, I'd been contacting OGOs of accounts that rhymed with my alias, such as like plop, drop, slop, etc. And after 2 weeks of no reply, Slop's OGO replied to me claiming they didn't own the account. And I basically replied to them asking if it could have been stolen off of them around the time name changing was allowed, which was like 2015. And they said it was. I had them contact Mojang support to recover the account so I could buy the account from them. And I searched the NameMC a few hours later of Slop and yeah, like before I went to bed. And it was just available, so I claimed it on an account, thinking it was a random MFA, but I got it on my main.
And wait, so you didn't even mean to claim it on your main?
Yeah, I meant to claim it on an MFA, just like a random alt, and I was logged into my main because I had changed the skin earlier, and I claimed it on there.
You didn't think about claiming it on a cape or anything?
No, it was just like I wanted to claim it before someone else did.
Thanks for watching Charles Alert. That's all we got today.
Thank you, Charles, for hosting, and thank you, Klopp, for telling your story. Next, let's get to this episode's Invalid Alert segment.
I hear them saying he's calling, I don't wanna talk. My boy got the 30 on him and he keep a Glock. I got sushi on my clock.
There are so many invalids that have been found since last episode. Thank you to my friend Lucky Swede for originally putting this list together for me, and also thank you for MCBYT for being really awesome and sending me your timeline of invalid discoveries. I really appreciate it. Guys, if you haven't already, go check out MCBYT on YouTube. His videos are really well made, and I just think he's a cool guy. On March 24th, That Creepy Neighbor, which is a long invalid account, meaning that it has more than 16 characters in it, was found and cracked by Lucky Swede, Tanpug, Caustic, and Jamie. That same day, ..shadow ... a well-known invalid account was cracked by Pocket and has since been sold. On April 6th, an amazing previous invalid name was found by someone named Desmond. It now goes by the name PatriotsFan_, and Mojang has since altered its name history to hide the invalid characters, but the name originally on the account was RTB36 $/PatriotsFan $$! Right caret arrow thing. Mojang removed the old name from the account because somebody from the OG community tried to pull the account by sending a support ticket to Mojang. He didn't have any of the original information, and as part of his story, he said that he couldn't join servers with it back in the day. When Mojang heard this, they decided that they would just completely erase all record of the name from the account's history. I think this is a good lesson on trying to steal accounts. Sure, you may have been able to get access to the account for a bit until it eventually got locked, but the risk of it being removed was too great in my opinion. Some things are just better left untouched. On April 10th, another previous invalid, TechnoJ#, which now goes by Lamau_XD23, was discovered by Lucky Swede, Tanpug, Caustic, and Jamie. On April 20th, Pocket's favorite holiday, he found and cracked the long invalid name Ultra Mega Chicken 123, which is 19 characters. Once again, the most you're supposed to be able to have in a name is 16. He didn't publicize this find until April 23rd though, because he was too lazy to change the password to something secure until then. On May 12th, the previous invalid Max.Lahippie was discovered by Lucky Swede, Tanpug, and Caustic. On May 15th, the previous long invalid name Nicholas Peterson was found by Desmond. The name doesn't even look like it was changed by Mojang, probably just someone who happened to have the account. On May 19th, the longest name ever was discovered by Desmond. It is no longer the name on the account, so technically it's only the longest previous name ever. The account now goes by the name Mr. Boris 28, but its original name was Bearcat14 with 232 spaces before it and 14 spaces after it. I don't even know how you do something like this. Like, how do you put that many spaces in your name? I'll leave a link to the Mojang API profile for this account in the description if you want to look at it. I find it pretty funny. On May 30th, the account Perry.Ben was acquired by Pocket. On June 1st, Mr.Dennis was acquired by Pocket. On June 11th, Wonka-96 was acquired by Lucky Swede, Tanpug, and Caustic. On July 6th, Lieutenant Colonel.Awesome, or LTC.Awesome, was acquired by Lucky Swede, Tanpug, and Caustic. Here's a cool screenshot of those last two accounts together. I just think it looks cool because of the shaders, and they're just cool accounts, you know, invalids. Something that's kind of interesting is that Lucky Swede, Tanpug, and Caustic put some Lunar Client cosmetics on Wonka-96 and tried to get an Optifine cape on it, but Optifine staff said that invalid names would break their system, so invalid accounts can't have Optifine capes. Interesting. There are a ton more invalids that were found and previous invalids, and I don't have dates for them, and I also don't want to go through the whole list because it's long, but one of my favorites was found by Lucky Swede, Tanpug, Caustic, and Jamie. Its name is,
Schokobrötchen.
Yeah, I don't think I'll actually be able to say that. Either way, it's a cool account. Since two character names are technically invalids, I'll include this here as well. 3B was name changed on June 15th to 000000000000000000003. 3B. I think that was enough zeros. May have been one too many. We don't know who did this or why it happened. 3B was never an account that was in the OG community, so my friend Tanpug thinks that it might have been someone trying to pull the account through support, and somehow the account got name changed. Yet another 2-character lost forever. Oh, by the way, if 2-character names being name changed interests you, I'll leave a link in the description to a video where I talk about all the stories behind a bunch of 2-character names being changed. Okay, that's all for this episode of Invalid Alert. Before I get back to the news, I want to quickly tell you about my server. It's an anarchy server, which means that there are no rules, so you can hack and cheat and dupe as much as you want. I started it about 2.5 years ago, and the map has never and will never reset. The server is currently in version 1.8 and will update to 1.9 next year. If you like anarchy or if you're bored, go check it out. Spawn looked interesting, and people made a bunch of illegal items a few versions ago. Just a fair warning, because it is an anarchy server, I have no control over what people say or build, so some of it could be offensive. If you want to join, the IP is a.xinabox.us or anarchy.xinabox.us. I'll have those in the description. All right, now let's get back to the news. So I was checking Discord DMs while writing this, and I got one from someone named Braden telling me that the name Sanity, which was on a 2011 Cape account for about a year, just randomly got removed from the account. The owner of Sanity realized this and quickly claimed the name on an alt, but we have no idea why the name was taken off the 2011 Cape account it was on. The owner of the 2011 did not lose the account, but the name was just removed. It's just Mojang being weird and doing unpredictable things, a common theme these days. Now, let's get to last week's names.
Bitch, I shiny like some scales on a Prada dragon. Pussy boy is so lame, he's just a has-been.
Pollute was gift card sniped by Hydra. RKO was gift card sniped by Dawn and CTW. Clear was gift card sniped by Kami. Cuddles was sniped by IED, and I want to give a shout out to XY for finding that. I know it wasn't super easy. Deform was reclaimed by its owner. Restrict was reclaimed by its owner, and our underrated name FFFFFFFFFFFF was reclaimed by its owner. Now let's get to This Week in Sniping, featuring my special guest, the Duper Trooper.
Sup, xinaboxers?
Okay, don't call them that. Okay, welcome to This Week in Sniping. This is my guest, the Duper Trooper on YouTube.
True.
Yeah, so we are here to talk about some recent snipes in the community and also some news about a sniper quitting, I believe is what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all right. I mean, this is an interesting format because I usually have a script for this kind of stuff, but try new things, people. Try new things. That's my advice to you for today. So the first name on our list here is Republic, and it was sniped by Entity. I don't even know what Entity is. So
Entity was a sniper run by 3 people who one of them actually recently quit due to, I think, one of the other owners scamming the other owner, which is a very interesting situation that I don't want to touch.
For what? For like an account?
No, like $1,000, I think. I believe it was.
Wait, let's not name drop right now, but
crop it and pose, and then leave this part in where I'm telling you to crop it and pose.
Yeah, so it was actually gift card sniped, which is pretty cool. This looks like it was back in like July or something. So okay, so the next name on our list is Ingredient, and apparently that's sniped by Hydra. Can you kind of give me a little backstory on Hydra Sniper?
I can, because I've been with Hydra Sniper since the beginning, though they still refuse to give me mod. So Hydra was initially owned by XY as sort of a passion project, but they really got big once Bud came in and supplied them with a lot of gift codes to snipe with. And using one of those gift codes, they managed to get Ingredient, and currently they're, I think, the top sniper in COM, with a pretty consistent getting % of name, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that you know, getting % of name, that's actually the official
Getting
term.
% of
That's
name,
actually
yes.
the official term for it. So, you know, let's actually go through here because I have a whole list of names, and let's see the other ones that were sniped by Hydra. They also got we have Pentagram, which is cool. Gustavo, shout out Gustavo. That was my Spanish teacher. Okay, then Appa and Azula. Can you explain what those are? Because I have no idea what those even mean. Apparently they're impressive, but...
Okay, so there's this cartoon called Avatar. I don't know much about it, but I'm pretty sure, like...
Okay,
I think
okay.
Appa's like this big flying pig, and Azula's like this hot chick.
Okay, so Hydra also sniped Electrocute, which is, I think, a really cool name. Underrated, probably. I bet that doesn't get very many searches. And they sniped Cool with a K. They also sniped Pleasure. You know what? I bet I made an OG Alert that had pleasure in it back then. You guys can go check if you want. I bet I did. Hydra also got ingredient. Next on our list at the top here is
Potentially
I
the
already
shard one. Could I go over the shard one? 'Cause
Yeah,
there's-
let's talk about this.
man.
WoW was sniped by Shard. First, can you explain who Shard is?
So Shard is ran by Hubert, a man who does not even play Minecraft, and Shardier, who is a Python developer, to my knowledge. And WoW is really interesting because at the time of dropping, it had almost 20,000 searches, making it the most searched name that has dropped in like 2 to 3 years, I think. And well, I don't know, that could be inaccurate, but I'm pretty sure that the other ones only hit close to 10. This one was at 20, which
20K
is
is a lot. Like, you almost, up until
Yeah.
recently, you didn't even see that on NameMC, like, ever.
Now, WoW, I wanted to talk about specifically because I made a video that was full of inaccurate information on it accidentally, and then I got, like, cyberbullied, which was kind of funny.
So, WoW was sold for $15,000.
Yup.
That's insane. That's a lot of money. I know this segment's going to get really long, so let's just kind of go over a few. Like, I'm going to kind of go through some of these quickly, but there are definitely some that we want to talk about. So, Bloom was sniped by Cryo, Debuff was sniped by Clover, Robbie was sniped by Cupid, Strangers was Cupid, Invoke was sniped by Cupid, Shout was sniped by Cupid.
Shout's an interesting name. That
Shout's
has some
cool.
stuff behind it.
Okay, well then
So-
let's talk about Shout, but first, can you explain who Cupid is?
Can I explain who Cupid is? Absolutely. So Cupid is a sniping service run by Emil and his friend, I'm pretty sure. Emil's a super cool dude. They've been sniping for a few months now, and they're not at all the leading sniper, but they do get a couple names here and there, and they're usually pretty good.
So tell us about Shout.
To my knowledge, Shout was actually name changed by someone who wanted to transfer it, and then they got denied the purchase. Like, when they went to go purchase Shout, Emil was just like, nah, and then sold it to somebody else, which, I don't know. I thought that was pretty funny.
Wait, okay, so somebody tried to transfer Shout.
I believe so.
And
then
were they transferring it through Cupid?
they were not. What they were going to do is they changed the name, and then they were going to buy it off of whoever sniped it.
Oh, okay, so they were just trying to like buy it from a sniper, but then Cupid got a higher bid for it.
I think Cupid just went nah, and then just left. I don't even
That's
know if it
crazy.
was a higher bid
I mean, see,
situation.
this is the thing with Minecraft accounts is like, and especially people always ask. I get a lot of messages about, you know, like, how can I transfer my account? Like, is there a reliable way to transfer? And the answer is no. There's no reliable way to transfer names right now. Other, like, not that I know. I know there are some weird support methods that I talked about earlier in this video, but it's not like it used to be with Cheerful Ninja, where they had a monopoly on sniping, and you could just kind of like, you know, pay them basically what the account was worth and transfer it. At this point, it's kind of a free-for-all. Like, you never really know who's going to get a name. There's not, like, people, you know, at least from what I've seen, you know, people are kind of on top for a little while, but it never lasts very long, and it's nowhere near, like, the monopoly that Cheerful had. Is that right?
That is right, yeah.
Our next name here is Alive. Let's talk about Alive, because you claim that it got hand sniped.
Yes, so when Alive was sniped, a buddy of mine known as Gamefish, shout out to him, he DM'd me and was like, yo, Alive was hand sniped. And I didn't believe him at first, but I was added to a group chat with the guy who was on the IGN Alive, claiming that he had hand sniped it on his younger brother's account. And that's the reason why he wasn't able to sell it, because it was his younger brother's Minecraft account.
But is there proof of it?
There was not proof. However, there is a friend's POV video that I watched in which he is playing Minecraft, chilling out, and then his friend starts screaming like a banshee saying that he hand sniped Alive. So unless that was like pre-planned, because it showed NameMC in the background and it happened right as Alive dropped. So unless that was pre-planned, I'm fairly positive that it's safe to assume it was hand sniped.
Do you have that video?
I unfortunately don't, as I got kicked from the group chat after I tried to buy it for $800.
For $800?
I did. I wanted to undercut it and resell it.
Oh my god. The Duper Trooper, folks. Thanks for coming on. I think that is pretty much the end of this segment. Is there anything I missed?
No, not to my knowledge. Thanks for having me.
That was so much fun. Let me know if you guys like the more casual format for that section. I also want to give a shout out to Talaing for sending me a bunch of sniping info. Okay, now I just want to take a minute to tell you about a cool Chrome extension called NameMC+. This isn't like a paid advertisement or anything, I just wanted to tell you about it. It adds a bunch of features and like quality of life stuff to NameMC, such as, removing ads and the ability to show elytras. Another really cool feature is that it shows when names are blocked. I think this one's going to be really useful for a lot of you out there because I get a lot of Discord DMs asking like why this name is blocked or if this name is blocked, and NameMC+ isn't going to answer why it's blocked, but it will tell you if the name is blocked. I'll leave a link to their GitHub in the description. It's a really cool extension. Also, they gave me my own custom cape that shows up on NameMC when you use the extension, I just found out. It even has a custom elytra. Isn't it beautiful? Next, I want to tell you about a site that's being developed by some friends of mine called MC Username. I asked my friend what I should say about it, and I'll put his reply on screen. So basically, it's cool and good and has cool features. You can check what kind of account someone has. For instance, mine is a Mojang account because I still can't migrate to Microsoft. You can see my Hypixel rank as well as my last login and first login stats. You can see what I look like when wearing an elytra with my cape. I even have a cool sunglasses emoji next to my name because apparently I am cool dude. Oh, and they have dark mode. They have a skin cape tester, so you can test any cape with any skin, which I think is really cool. I've never actually seen that before. Here I am with my dream cape, a Minecon 2012. They also have this feature where you can see if an account has been sudo hard deleted. All you need is the account's UUID. Here's an example. I'll leave a link to this site in the description. I think it's really well made and definitely worth checking out. Now, let's get to Cape Alert. Okay, so I was planning on showing the screenshot from last episode and comparing it to this one, which I guess I will still do. Here's last episode's screenshot, and here's this episode. There's no point in comparing these screenshots anymore because now people can turn their capes off. You might notice a few new capes on there too, notably the Migrator cape, the Birthday cape, and the Mojang Studios cape. That's right, migration has started. Well, it started a few months ago. I'll get back to that later in the video. I almost uploaded a video about the Birthday cape when it was discovered back at the end of April, but clearly that did not happen. The whole OG community was freaking out and there were lots of theories about it being a veteran cape, and some people thought that it might be the migration cape or that we were all going to get it on Minecraft's birthday, but alas, none of those things happened. On May 3rd, Ined, a Mojang employee, tweeted, "The account is owned by a Mojang employee leading the work on Minecraft.net. Maybe he is really into birthday parties. I can't blame him." This again led a lot of people to believe that it was some sort of Minecraft birthday cape that we would all get on Minecraft's anniversary, kind of like the cape that everyone got for New Year's in 2011 or the Scrolls capes that we all got for a couple of days back in December of 2014, but nope, nothing happened. Nobody got the birthday cape. I guess it's just a dude with a birthday cape. As for the Mojang Studios cape, when it was found, it was only on one account belonging to a Mojang employee named Volgar. People were freaking out and didn't know what it was, but then we looked at Volgar's Twitter and he was replying to tweets telling people that it's the new Mojang employee cape. So far, there are 16 people with the Mojang Studios cape and still 184 with the old cape. Maybe all the employees will get this cape and then they'll lose the old Mojang cape. This happened years ago when the red Mojang cape came out. Everyone used to have the classic cape and then most employees had it replaced by the red cape. I gotta say, I'm not a huge fan of this new Studios cape, so I hope the old red one stays around for at least a while longer. For our last part of Cape Alert, a guy named Dread sent me some links to the capes page on NameMC from the Wayback Machine. If you don't know what the Wayback Machine is, it's a site that lets you see old versions of web pages. It's pretty cool and can be pretty useful. Anyway, I can't find the Discord DM, so maybe he changed his name or something, but I'll just go on the Wayback Machine and look through it myself. Okay, so this is the oldest one they have. It's from May 4th, 2016, and you can see that there are a lot less capes cached. You can see, there are only like 47 Mojang capes and 20 Realms map makers. Let's go and look at it in 2019. June of 2019. Oh wait, no, here we go. September 2016, okay. So it looked a little different. This has the Minecon 2016 cape. There are more Mojang. Just kind of keep going through. I'll leave a link to this in the description if you guys want to look through this. I just think it's kind of cool to look at like what NameMC looked like. You can see they always would change the direction of the like Steve that had the cape on. Interesting. Well, yeah, this is cool. Okay, that's all for Cape Alert. See you in the next installment. So something interesting that happened recently that's also a little concerning is related to the Minecraft YouTuber Fundy. Originally, the Minecraft username Fundy was on an inactive unmigrated account. Dan jacked the unmigrated account, and a few months later, Mojang fully deleted the account and allowed the YouTuber Fundy to claim the name. The reason this is concerning is that this was someone's Minecraft account. They paid real money for it and it got completely deleted. This stuff happens a lot on social media where companies can get their name as their username on Instagram or Twitter, but I've never seen it happen in Minecraft. Hopefully this doesn't become a frequent thing. Do you think it's ethical for companies like Mojang or Instagram or Twitter to take usernames away from people and give them to other people just because they're famous or are some sort of company? I sure don't, but if you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. Feel free to comment or reach out on Discord or tweet at me and we can have a conversation. Let's take a short break for this episode's installment of Ragemonster Alert. So I was browsing Twitter recently and I decided to go check on my favorite totally legit 12 Cape account owner Mark Watson's Twitter account, and boom, I see this. Mark blocked me. I have never once interacted with him on Twitter, not even so much as liked a tweet that mentions him. He went out of his way to find my account and block me on Twitter. The only reason I can think of is that he raged about his last feature on Ragemonster Alert and blocked me. Roll the clip. Today's Rage Monster is Mark. He posted a tweet a few months ago that was completely unrelated to Minecraft. And a few days ago, Toon replied to that tweet asking him very nicely to give Cape. Apparently, Mark did not like this tweet because he swiftly blocked Toon. Mark must really not be a fan of capes if he got that upset about Toon asking for one. So I guess this means that Mark watches OG Alert. Hi Mark. Now, let's get to upcoming names. We have Duel dropping on the 12th with 8,655 searches as of the time I'm recording this. Apparently the account got hacked after it migrated to Microsoft, which is pretty interesting. Kindness drops on the 13th, and I can't really tell what the deal is with that one. Cool name though. Rookie, Aloha, and the worst spelling of Aiden all drop on the 17th. Reap drops on the 18th. Earn drops on the 29th. Yummy drops on October 5th, and Brute drops on October 6th. Now, let's get to our underrated name of the week. Our underrated name is Gasket with only 12 searches. How does this only have 12 searches? Do you guys not know what a gasket is? I guess you must not have a Subaru that was made between 1999 and 2004. Something interesting that happened recently, and by recently I mean the day before the last OG Alert came out back in March, is the Scrolls Cape account Magpie Man was brought into the community, got name changed, and then got locked. Sad, but that's the way it goes for many of these high tier accounts that aren't owned by their original owners. Also, one thing I realized I forgot to talk about during this week in sniping was what happened to dannyBstyle after the name dropped. IED sniped it on an SFA, but soon after that happened, Mojang wiped the name from that SFA's name history. He was even on the account when that happened, so he was able to play as dannyBstyle even while the name wasn't on an account. The weird part is that the name didn't become available. I thought this meant that they had just made it a blocked word or something and that nobody would ever have the name again, but later that day I got another DM from IED telling me that he got the name on a brand new account. Mojang didn't wipe it after that, so I assume that IED still has it to this day because it's still on the account that he put it on. Okay, now let's get to the news about migration. It started on June 24th, very slowly, and then people started getting migrator capes on July 9th. They've done quite a few waves of migration, so go ahead and check Minecraft.net to see if you can migrate. A lot of people can. One thing I want to talk about relating to account security is that yes, Microsoft accounts are supposedly more secure, but you can still get locked out of them, and that is devastating. Because if you don't have the info to get back into them, you'll most likely never get your account back once it's lost. So save your account info somewhere that you'll be able to access if you lose your account. Here's what you'll need. The first thing you need is your Microsoft account creation date. If you didn't have a Microsoft account before migrating and you created a new one, this one's pretty easy. But if you're migrating to an existing Microsoft account, you'll need to contact Microsoft support to get your creation date. Number 2 is your date of birth on file for your Microsoft account. I know people sometimes lie about their birthdays when creating accounts, so you need to keep track of which birthday you use for this Microsoft account. Number 3 is the country that is on file for your Microsoft account. So for me, that would be the USA. Number 4 is the address you have on file for your Microsoft account, if you have one. I think most people don't. Number 5 is your Xbox gamer tag. That one is pretty easy. Number 6 is your Microsoft account security information. This includes any recovery emails that you have set, as well as phone numbers. But my friend recommends that you don't put a phone number on your account because it makes it really easy for SIM swappers to steal it. If you have all this information, you're pretty set if you get locked out of your account. A few of my accounts can migrate, so I think what I'm going to do is make a tutorial video on one, just like how to migrate your account, which I'm pretty sure is very easy. I'll also do a tutorial on how to get all your like Microsoft account security info, so keep an eye out for that. Now, before we get to our final section, I want to discuss how I'd like to move forward with OG Alert, seeing as I have almost no free time these days. These videos take a long time for me to make. I have to compile information, confirm that it's true, write a script, edit the script, find screenshots, record the audio, edit the audio, find and edit background footage, and edit in all the screenshots. That doesn't even count putting in music in the background and making sure it's the right volume, and then the rendering process, which always takes forever. And I usually have to render it like 3 times because I'll find out that I messed something up, or the video didn't come out well, or I left some setting on that I didn't want to. So it's become pretty stressful for me, and I especially don't have time to do all this during school. So here's what I'm thinking. Once I get enough info for an OG Alert, I do the episode live with a guest or multiple guests in a more podcasty format. Anyone can tune into the live episode, and then I'll edit it down to the highlights and upload that as a video. On top of that, I want to make some shorter videos that maybe don't take me as long to make. At least until winter break, this is my plan, so this is the last OG Alert in this form for a while. That being said, let's get to our community screenshots section that I recorded back in April with my very special guest, Chucky. Alright, so our first screenshot was sent by Charlie CRW, and it is a picture of Under and Raichu, which, if you've been around a while, you'll kind of understand why this is cool.
Yeah, for sure. I took a break around 9 months ago, so I was only around when this account was one of probably the best accounts out there. It's one of my favorites because it was a repeating account. The names would just repeat after each other. Under Raichu, Under Raichu. They changed it every 30 minutes. So that was just like what I thought it would be forever. No one ever thought it was going to get changed. But then I come back 9 months later and I see it's like duplicated, like it like split, like mitosis or something.
All right, so our next screenshot was sent by Chucky, and it's a picture of Chucky and awesomeness with 3 exclamation points.
This was taken like probably a year ago now, but it's really special to me because awesomeness was probably like my favorite Invalid account, like maybe aside from like $sign or something. But now after the Invalid exploit, that's just gone. But
yeah,
seeing such a cool account just there that is now gone is just a really strange experience.
All right, our next one was also sent by Chucky, and I'm going to let you explain this one.
This one has absolutely nothing to do with OG names, really. However, it's a really good screenshot to me because I nicked as MVP++, and I got the name Amazing Fighter. It was just such a good nick, and I absolutely loved it. But one time I logged in, and I didn't have that nick anymore, and I was so confused. And I looked it up on Plank, and apparently someone had logged in and registered account the day after I got the nick and took Amazing Fighter. Someone that we didn't know. And the amazing thing was, he was actually online as I realized that.
Oh my god.
So we friended him, we partied him. Turned out he was this 11-year-old guy that had never played Minecraft before. And he was just the most pure and wholesome person. And then me and a bunch of my friends just started playing with him. And it was just such a hilarious experience. Going from like, wait, do we think we could like get 2 people with the same name in the game? Because at the time we thought that there was an exploit where you could nick as a name that wasn't created yet, and then it would look like a duplicate account. But apparently that was patched out. But it was just still so funny to get this like such a strange screenshot, because going from just having a nick to finding the guy called that who registered it and was online as we realized, it was just such a low chance of happening.
So you can actually do that. I don't know if you know this, but if I have a recording of it, if you nick as something and then an account takes that name and logs on, you have a dupe account on Hypixel for like a while.
Oh really?
Until you log off.
Because what was interesting, until you log off, that would make sense then. Because I was like logged off, and I think while I was logged off, he made the account and then logged on.
So if you had been online, it would have worked as a dupe account.
That's insane.
I think once you like switch servers enough, it just like turns off. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Okay, so
to know.
our next one was also sent by Chucky, and it is
A few of them
a.
today.
What do you say?
I sent a few of them today.
Yeah, just a few of them. And it's a picture of Egg the day that it was sniped back in, I guess, was that June or July? It must have been
somewhere.
June,
Let me
right?
check. The 7th month, so July.
Oh, July. Okay, so
Yeah.
back when Egg was sniped in July, and we have Dixie
Yeah.
D'Amelio on there too, and Mitch in the background.
And Mitch
I
coming
want to
in
give a
the
little
background.
shout out real quick to Santa's Coming because I know he watches my videos.
Well, that was a crazy experience because my Discord was absolutely obsessed with hand sniping because I hand sniped my name and everybody thought it was a really cool idea to be able to just get an OG name of yourself for like free. So a bunch of people saw that Egg was dropping and we all decided that we would sit in a call and everybody was trying to hand snipe it and I was just chilling there because it was cool to me. But nobody really thought they were going to get it because it is such a low chance of happening back then, especially with Cheerful's Monopoly at the time. But that was kind of like the beginning of the end we found because it turns out Egg had turboed it or something. I forget the details on it. Someone will have to fill me in on that.
Yeah.
But they managed to take it away from Cheerful and we were just like, what the hell? You got it. So everyone from my Discord just joined Blockmania to see him register it. And it was just a wild experience to see someone from like my community just get the name just out of nowhere that no one really thought would happen. It's like the stars aligned or something.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy that was like such an era of sniping. It was like the beginning of this
Really,
new
yeah.
like anarchy era of sniping.
We
really.
described it as like the beginning of the end. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So
And
that was one of the first one. It was like that one and like.
well, the first one was Moon,
Yeah, that's the one.
and it was like a month and a half before that. But this was like we kind of had that, and then Cheerful kind of got back into it. I don't know if you remember Discoli too. That was
Yes, I
like
do.
a
I thought
1 week
Discoli.
thing, where he like struck a deal with Cheerful, and
Yeah, I remember that,
and
yeah.
was like out of it, like they bought him out or something. Okay, our next screenshot was sent by Jameon. I think that's how you pronounce that name, and oh my god, I don't even know what to say.
There's nothing much more to say about this one than just what's on screen, right? You've got Esky Mojo chilling in the background, just making
Yeah.
it way more clouded than it should be.
Mm-hmm. Ethan is literally twerking in front of Eskimocho.
He's going at it, dude. I'm proud of him.
Good for Ethan. Okay, our next screenshot was sent by Juice, and this is just a little lineup of some cool names on Blockmania. We got Jug, we got Tan, we got Fabulous, we got M0, we got Cookie, Juice, HY, 4U, Virus, and Plastic, and then somebody else on the right.
I want to give a shout out to Cookie as well, because Cookie is just a legend. Very similar name to mine, so I absolutely love that account. They're in my streams as well, they're a legend. So if
Shout
you're
out,
watching,
Cookie.
Shout out to you, dude.
Our next screenshot was sent by Kitten. It's a picture of Jet and NRP123. NRP123 is locked, but Jet, I don't know. NRP123, very cool account. It has a lot of capes, and one of those is a Scrolls cape, but it also has the best cape in existence, which is a 2012. All right, our next one was sent by Scry in my Discord. It's just two characters.
Hell yeah, nothing much to say about it.
Yeah,
Two characters are one of my favorite things in the OG community.
yeah,
It's super cool just to see people just like fully breaking what you're supposed to be able to do.
yeah.
And also the fact that it like comes from so long ago as well. It's like a time capsule in an account.
Okay, so our next one, it was sent by Tyrell in my Discord. It is a screenshot. I don't know why I just thought this was funny. It's Grinch and
It's
Santa.
such a good screenshot.
I don't know who's actually on that Santa skin account, but
I think that's a Nick skin actually, so at least an MVP++. It's just so funny. Just seeing Santa and the Grinch next to each other is just poetic almost, isn't it?
yep, I agree. It really is. So our last two screenshots were both sent by Chucky, but one of them I guess was sent to you by somebody.
I forget who exactly. Probably like Ethan or something like that.
So sent by probably Ethan. And
Maybe Pose.
maybe it could be anyone. I'm sure we'll find out after the video goes live.
Yes, someone else shout in my DMs.
Yeah, so I want you guys to decide between these screenshots and let me know which one you think is better. Maybe we'll have a little poll on it. Maybe I can make a little poll for the description too. So the first one is Tulip here, in a field of flowers. And if
He's
you look
hidden.
closely at the chat, Tulip is letting everybody know that they are hidden. And this
He's
is
trying
just
so hard.
so-
He's trying so hard. I'm so proud of him.
You go, Tulip.
Yeah,
You
got
hide.
this little guy.
It's really a cute screenshot, I gotta say.
It is. It's so good.
And I would argue that the other one is also pretty cute.
Oh yes, true. The other screenshot. These are like tied for me as the two best screenshots. You guys are gonna have to decide which one is the better of the two. But
Okay, so this one right here is just look at it. It's
Smudge.
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 Oh,
just-
imagine
He's
if
also trying
Smudge.
so hard.
He really is. He's the third dupe account. He's like the little brother.
He is. He is. He's a little annoying brother that wants to be taken everywhere. It's like, can I come? No, no, you can't.
Not a true dupe
You're
account.
not like us.
Man, whoever made that,
Oh my God.
props to whoever made that account. For real,
I
that is
respect that. I think it was someone in my Discord.
that's
think.
so good.
So
Cool. Well, that's all of the screenshots we have. Thank you, Chucky, for being my guest. Go check out their channel.
Anytime.
They also make videos on the OG community and all sorts of stuff like that. And they're now back on YouTube after a
you.
long break. It's nice to have you
Yes,
back.
feels good to be back. Thank
Yeah.
you, dude. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So I'll leave a link in the description and make sure you go check that out. And yeah, thanks for coming on.
Cross, man.
Okay. That's all I have for you in this episode. I have no idea how long this is going to be, but I assume it'll be one of the longest episodes ever. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you'll enjoy my new video format in the future. See you soon.